Hello everybody, welcome back to our web design training. In this video I will be introducing us to how we can use how we are going to be using all the app that has been listed for us in the previous video. I'll be starting from the Android apps, which is this Sublime Text Editor and the Acode. Then after that I'll move to the PC VS Code. I will be using the Sublime Text on Android to explain the Sublime Text on both PC and your PC or your computer, and then your iPhone, since they are of the same thing. We just leave some little slight differences in the appearance. Also I'll be using the VS Code on your PC to explain the appearance, or to explain the VS Code on iPhone also, since they are the same thing. Now, starting with our Acode, as we have already know, this is our Acode. Clicking on it, it will take me to the initial page, the fresh page. Now, when it takes me to this place, what will I do next? The next thing for me to do is just to create my file. Let me assume nothing is here now. I'll just create new. I'll click on new file, and then I'll give it title. Let me say training. Let me say HTML training. Don't forget, when you are giving your file, your file name for any of the app, either Acode, VS Code, Sublime Text, and the other, when any coding you want to do, when you are giving them the name, the file name, it must be dot the type of language you are writing. Without that, you won't be able to execute what you are doing, and the app you are working on will not be able to recognize what you are writing as the language you want to write. It will only recognize it as ordinary text. So because of that, we will just say dot HTML, since it is HTML we are writing on. So, and then I will press OK. Immediately you see it will give me the sign of HTML. Now if I want to make it a CSS, let me say rename. Okay. So if I want to make it a CSS, let me say new file. So if I want to say training.css, you see, this one also give me a CSS logo immediately. So because at the end of each of the name, I make it dot the programming language I'm writing. If I didn't give it dot the programming language I'm writing, so it will not even it will not give me, it will not, the app will not be able to understand the language as CSS. It will only understand it as ordinary text. So now back to our HTML. Now after creating the file, the next thing for you to do is to save. Once you save, it will ask you to select a folder. Okay, let me say so I've saved it there. So after that, After selecting the folder and after saving the file into a folder in your phone file manager, so then the next thing for you is you start your coding. Let me just give a brief so this is just a brief intro, just to test what we've done, if it will be viewable. Now for you to run this little code I've just put here, for you to view it in your browser, for you to see how it looks on your browser, you press this play button. Now when you press the play button, it will ask you, do you want to view it in your browser or you want to view it in your app? So if you click on in app, so it will show you what you've just written in your browser. Can you see testing? This testing is what we have inside this our h1 tag, which is testing. You can also see it here. It's still the same thing as the testing. So if I now click browser, if I wanted to view it in my browser, it will take me to the browser I'm using in my phone as the default browser, which is Chrome that I'm using here. If you are using Mozilla as your default browser or Internet Explorer as your default browser, so it will also be the one that it will use to open it. Now it's loading. You just have to exercise some patience for it to load. Using this, you don't really require any, you don't need, it doesn't request, you don't need to use any internet, so you don't need to use your internet or you use any data. You don't need to consume any data to use this app. You see what the testing that I wrote there in the app is what is also showing here. See that even this and the one that was viewed in the app has no difference. So that is about a code. Now let's go to Sublime Text. So I will open my Sublime Text app. After opening it, wait for it to load. So here also I'll click on new file. I'll click on new file. Once you click on new file, then you rename. You see this one, once you click on new file, it will not ask you to rename. It will not ask you to name, so it will bring the file directly for you. You are done that to now click on these three dots at the top right top corner here, and then you click on rename. Once you click on rename, then you give it name. Let's say HTML training. Don't forget all your name, all your file name for any coding language, either Python, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, any programming language. Your file name must be that programming language, which is HTML. That is all. And don't forget, there must in between the dot and the programming language, there must not be space. They must be together. But before the dot, there might be space, like here. So it has nothing to do but between this dot and the HTML there must not be any space. So let's save. Okay, sorry, before I will have to rename, let me save first. Let me save. So once I'm saving it will automatically ask me to give it a name. Training HTML training dot HTML. So once it asks me to name, the mistake I did the other time is that I'm not supposed to first go and rename. I'm supposed to first go and save. Once I'm saving, it will automatically ask me to give it a name. So then when I'm giving it a name, don't forget it must be dot the HTML, dot the programming language you are dealing with. Now down here, that is the name. Down here is the folder. So that automatically I will be having the folder here. So it will save in my internal storage directly. So I will just click OK. Once I click OK, see it says successfully saved. Then I will start my programming language and my coding. Let me say H1, then close. Let me say testing. So that is all. Then I'll click on save. Don't forget, after every coding you must always save. So now the difference from Sublime Text and the A code is that you cannot view your coding directly from your Sublime Text. You will need to go to your file manager. You need to go to your file manager. When you get your file manager, your internal storage, then you go and look for the name. You see here testing.html. Okay, this what we are dealing with, HTML training.html. Then I'll click on it. So once I click on it, it will ask me to open with Chrome, Firefox, or HTML viewer. Then let me click on Chrome. Once I click on Chrome, I will have to wait a little bit for it to load. See, it has automatically opened. So that is all for that. So in the next video, I will be showing you how to use the VS Code. Now, the only slight difference between the Sublime Text editor here and the Sublime Text editor on our system is just the menu bar. The menu bar, all this file, new file, and the likes, is all this new file and everything are on the top bar, on the top bar in our PC. So instead of seeing new file open and the likes, by your left hand side, by your left top hand side, it will be what you see is file. Then when you click on that file, it will bring a drop down menu where you select new file, open file, and the likes. So that is just the slight difference. And then it will also give you some other things like view. Okay, sorry, I forgot. Also in this app, it was in the Sublime Text on your PC, you cannot view from your Sublime Text, but in this app, I forgot, in this app you can also view directly in your browser from here. you can view in your browser from this Sublime Text here in your Android phone. You just click on view it on the web. You click on view it on the web, then it will say you open with. So open with what? Which of the app do you want to open it with? Is it any of this? So I'll click on Chrome. Then after I click on Chrome, it will take me to Chrome to open it. So in the next video, I will be giving you more explanation on VS Code. See you next video.